Hi, I'm Anthony Holman, Head of ETF Research here at S&P Capital IQ. And today I'm joined by Director of our ETF and Mutual Fund Research, Todd Rosenbluth, who will talk about some social media trends as we have just finished a webinar on social media and investing within that. Todd, thank you for joining us.
Good to be here, Anthony. Thank you.
Specifically focused within investing in social media, what factors are we seeing in that space?
Yeah, so we've seen a number of stocks become public in the last 18 months tied to this space, but obviously there's strong industry trends tied to social media. People are using it, they're touching more people, and there's advertising opportunities for these companies, but you really got to be mindful of some of the risks that are out there, and of course valuation. And we at S&P Capital IQ, with our independent research on a number of these stocks, highlighted that during the webinar.
And one way to invest in social media is ETFs itself. What factors are we seeing from that landscape?
Yeah, so right now there's just one specific ETF tied to social media, and that's from Global X. But we actually have seen a number of these ETF, or a number of these underlying securities tied to social media in a little bit more broadly diversified ETFs. So something like an IPO-related ETF. We've seen some interest in that. Now, the concern we have at S&P Capital IQ, again, goes to the underlying stock level. We find a number of these stocks to be overvalued and risky, and the ETF itself often is either thinly traded with wide bid-ask spreads or also expensive. And those are things that we at S&P Capital IQ do not like when choosing an ETF.
And besides those narrowly focused ETFs that concentrate within social media, I imagine the social media aspect does touch more diversified ETFs, is that right?
Yeah, so as these companies obviously become larger and have longer histories, they then become held into more diversified indices, such as the S&P 500 index has some social media stocks. The Russell 1000 index also has social media stocks in it. So not surprisingly, ETFs that are tied to it are going to have that, as well as some of the sector-specific ones, ETFs from Vanguard and from iShares also have some of these social media stocks. So the long answer is you might have some of these stocks within your broadly diversified ETF and just not know it because you're getting the benefits of diversification.
Thanks, Todd. It's always a pleasure. And we hope you enjoyed the webinar. If you could catch it on social media. If not, please learn more about our ETF research and mutual fund research by logging on to trymsatoday.com.